What's up, guys? This is Tim from Helix Esports. Welcome to Helix Heroes. Today I've got Simon Cup winner Bugz with me, who has been one of the best Fortnite players to come into our center since the very beginning. He's won 3 of our monthly private lobby tournaments and has been crushing content creation, making a namesake for himself on the East Coast. Really looking forward to talking some Fortnite, some new games on the horizon, and finding out where Bugz would like to take his career. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the conversation. And I guess we'll start off real basic bugs. So basically, number one is tell us about yourself. How old are you? Where are you from? Uh, and what is your real name?
Hi, my name is Bugsy, but my real name is Darrow. I'm 20 years old, and yeah. Oh, and I'm from New York.
Awesome, awesome. And then so tell me about the origin of the name Bugsy. Where does that come from?
Haha. So actually, the nickname is not even mine. My actual nickname in real life is DJ, but my dad nickname is Bugs. And how that name came along is that when I first ever made my PS4 account, I didn't know what to name it. I wanted to be like Game Freak or Game Fortnite because I was so addicted to like playing video games.
Yeah.
But since I was just so young, my dad made my account, and he actually named my account Bugs Son DJ, aka his nickname Bugs. I'm his son DJ, so it was Bugs Son DJ, and then people just always call me Bugs and never like understood my name. So down the line, I just finally just changed it and kept Bugs, and then I added a 7 because I couldn't get the OG Bugs. So 7 is my
Got you.
lucky number. So Bugs, VII.
Love it, man. That's awesome. And then so we know you're super solid Fortnite player coming into Helix, always placing super high, if not winning our monthly tournaments. So we know you're super solid at Fortnite, but is there a game? What's the first game that you fell in love with? Just
Uh,
period.
the first game that I fell in love with, I probably have to say like back when I was younger was probably like the old generic games like Super Mario and stuff. But like my first ever competitive game that I fell in love with was actually Call of Duty.
Okay, nice. So tell me a little bit more about that. What was it about Call of Duty that you fell in love with, and when was it that you started playing that competitively?
Nothing. I don't really remember the exact time, but I just felt like it was just a fun game to play. But then down the line, like around Black Ops 2, is when I actually noticed that I was actually good. When I was able to drop these crazy videos like everybody else was doing, dropping 200 bombs in hardpoint or demolition and stuff. And then I got into competitive once once I believe Infinity Warfare came out with like the jetpacks and stuff because my friend got
Gotcha.
into it, and I just fell in love with it after that.
Nice. That's awesome. And then when was it that you started playing Fortnite competitively? Was that right off the bat when that game came out or what?
So yeah, I played Fortnite right off the bat, but I didn't really see nothing competitive about it until I saw, I believe, Myth when people were talking about these scrims. But that's back then when I was on console, so I didn't know like I knew what scrims were, but like for Fortnite, I was confused on like how would they do it and how would they be performed because there wasn't no custom codes back then. But it was pretty much just a whole bunch of like top players queuing up at the same time and trying to get into the same lobbies. And how Fortnite worked was if you queue up at the same time, you usually got in the same lobby. So that's when I learned about that, and that's when I realized that this game could have a competitive potential if the community was big enough and it was a high demand for it.
Absolutely. Um, so then going deeper into Fortnite competitive, just to say it again, Bugs has come in, and we've probably had around 7 or 8 monthly Fortnite private lobby tournaments. And Bugs comes in, he places top 5 in just about every single one. I believe you've won 2 now, Bugs. Is that right?
I've won, I believe, 4.
Okay, gotcha.
I I've placed third or first or second every time. I've
And that's
won two
duos and
solos.
solos, right? Yep.
Yeah, I won. Oh no, so you're right. I did won 3. I won 2 solos and I won 1 duos.
Awesome with Redux that one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then in addition to that, Bugs not only wins our tournaments, but he also is the Simon Cup Fortnite winner. For those who don't know, Simon Cup was a tournament put on by Allied Esports, with some regional qualifiers, and then kind of ended up in Vegas with the grand final, and Bugs took the whole thing home. So what I wanted to do here, Bugs, was just kind of talk to me about that, starting with the regional qualifier, kind of the whole process and flying out to Vegas and getting that win. What did that mean to you? And how did that feel?
Man, that was just a whole roller coaster, to be honest with you. So, how first on how I even found about the tournament was literally on Twitter at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm just, usually just practicing, warming up, just playing Fortnite, and I go across the Twitter that was like a sponsorship from, I believe, Nate Hill and Nick Merckx, and they were talking about like a third party LAN tournament for Fortnite. And when I was reading about it, it said something about just I believe Las Vegas or Cali, and I was like, oh, I can't do that, whatever, and I just left it alone. And then the next day, something also popped up, and it was like New York, and I was like, oh, I could do that. And then I looked more into it, and this tournament was I would like to say it was hard, and the same time it wasn't. I say the most hard point was to qualify for it, just for the how random it was. So how to qualify for the Simon Cup, at least for this year, was you had to pretty much pub stomp in a certain amount of time, and with the new addition of I believe skill based matchmaking, kind of made it harder for certain accounts and
Yeah.
people. So that also had people make new accounts and kind of cheat the system to qualify. And for online, it was a top, I think, 5 spot every week. And then for like Cali and New York, there was a top 25 spot. But the only reason why there was a top 25 spot is because after the 4 weeks, you actually had to qualify again at a land center by them. And it would believe it was the top 125, and only 16 made it out of it.
Right.
16? Yeah, 16 made it out of it. And again, that was another pub stomping. But the thing was on this one was everyone started on a new account, but the account that was made on that PC, everyone played on it. So if you were like one of the first people to play on it, you kind of got like an easy buy because you had the bot lobbies. But if if all these people are playing on this account and dropping 15, 20 bombs, the lobbies are just gonna get harder and harder for you, and you're gonna have to like sweat even harder and actually qualify. And it took, I think you only had 2 matches to pretty much play in. You had 40 minutes to qualify and get your best 2 games. So like if you died or you got most of your kills stolen while pub stomping, you're kind of was just out of it right there from the start.
Got you. And then so tell me about winning that regional and then flying to Vegas. What was that like? And then taking home the title.
So winning that regional was actually really close for me. I actually came 16th, as in last place to qualify for the Simon Cup, which just had my heart racing for the fact that a lot of things, like I said, since there was only 2 games, a lot of things happened to me that just kind of messed up my game. And thank God that I made it. But going into the regional, again, that was also hard just for the fact that the format was different than any other Fortnite tournament, because that one actually increased in points. So for the first 2 rounds, it was normal points, not the generic format that Fortnite usually uses, but like a little bit different, but similar. But after a while, for like say the third round, every kill was, instead of 1, it was 1.5, and instead of 15 points for a win, I think it went to like 23. And then for the fourth round, it was double the kill. So every time you got a kill, it was 2 points. And then for winning that was like I think 30 or 35 points. And then the last round was every kill was 3 points, and then winning that I think it was nearly like 40 points. So like it kept everyone on their feet, because like even if you did bad, literally the whole tournament, if you popped off your the last round, you could literally win it all.
Wow, that's
But my
wild.
mindset for the whole tournament was just to stay consistent, get enough kills, at least 3 or 4 kills every time, and at least placing the second highest placement, which I believe was 7. So if I was just placing 7th and getting those kills, I pretty much got all the points besides the winning points, and that was, I believe, enough to do it, and it was.
So that's the regional, and then from there, you basically flew out to Vegas,
Oh
correct? And
no,
then,
that one was the finals. The regional
oh,
was
that was the final.
yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
regional was the one where I said you had to go to their LAN center and play the 40 minutes to play pubs again. Literally 40 minutes, 2 matches is what you
Oh,
pretty
okay,
much had.
got you. And
Yeah.
so what was that experience like getting that win, going on that shopping spree, and just talk to me about that whole experience getting that win.
That win had my heart pumping, racing. Like a lot of people like talk down on it because it wasn't like a major event, and it wasn't like open to, like, it was open to everybody, but not everyone knew about it. But it still was a big win for me because for all my life for competing, I knew I have the potential of being a top player, but I always just make the most minor mistakes, the most dumb decisions at just the wrong time that ruins my whole tournament for me. So for the fact that I finally just like didn't make a mistake, actually played the best that I could, and for it to finally just like pay off. And that whole experience of like going, like getting on that stage, getting that trophy, it just felt so unreal. It just felt like all the hard work that I actually did finally paid off.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really good stuff, and that's what it seemed like watching you. It seemed like it was a blast. So moving on, how are you feeling about the current state of Fortnite? And then maybe what's one thing you'd change about the game if you could?
The current state of Fortnite is just, I don't know. I just feel like they, after World Cup, they slowly just stopped caring. Well, no, not after World Cup. Probably after trios, they stopped caring because I feel like trios was a great format with the 15 points for placements. The prize pool was good. I felt like they should have made it a little harder to get like money wise in the in trios, which was, I believe it was top 250 in trios, which I felt like it
Yeah,
should have been top 150 because the top 150 actually made it to finals. So I felt like finals should be like where the money mark is for these type of tournaments. But
right.
other than that, I feel like that was like the peak of Fortnite, and then
Hmm.
after that, it just slowly went down. After that, it was, I believe, top 25 in squads to even make finals. And even if you placed top 25, you didn't make money unless you were, I believe, top 10 every week. And top 10, I believe, was only, I think, $100. Literally, placing top two was when you actually made decent money, which I think was 300 or 400 more. And it's just like, I know certain people say that the Fortnite community is greedy because qualifiers and stuff like other games. There's like you go do qualifiers without making any money and all that stuff. You have to be like literally the top 16 team to make any money, and even
Yeah,
place in top 16 is not like good money. You really have to like win the event to even make a good living off of it. And I just feel like it is true, but I feel like with Fortnite, it's a little bit different with competing wise in the esports because um these other games are so like close quarter to like major teams like FaZe, like aka also Optic and all of them. Like you literally had to be on like a T1 org to actually compete. But with Fortnite, you're facing against 100 plus K people every single day, trying to be the best. And I just feel like that one, not saying it takes more skill, but
yeah,
it's open to anyone being able to get to the top, and doesn't take that you being on a high org. I don't want to say like the easy way out, but like it's like once you reach there, it's like, yo, you only beat like 8 teams, and if you learn how they play, that's it. You could be like the best player ever. While Fortnite, it's like you could face anybody, and they could be better than you, or the RNG and the weaponry that you get, or where you land could change your game. The zones could change your game. There's so much things that can happen in Fortnite that I feel like it's just worth the prize pool that they put into it for
yeah,
their
for
game.
sure.
And yeah.
Definitely makes sense. And then, so I guess next question would be, what's one thing you'd change about the current state of Fortnite if you could?
To be honest, there's a lot of things that I would love to be changed for Fortnite, but the major thing that I would want them to do and work their hardest is probably just the servers. Like so many games get changed just for the fact that people are lagging or people PCs drops in frames and changes up the whole game for everybody. Like imagine if Fortnite didn't have laggy servers or everything was ran at their highest FPS that they could. Like people would be able to build in certain situations. Certain bullets wouldn't be able to go through builds in certain situations. People will be always be able to like get their shots in. A whole bunch of stuff would be different.
Yeah.
If the games didn't get so laggy to the point where you couldn't even move or it couldn't even shoot your gun back sometimes.
Yeah, got you. Um, so then I guess moving forward would be, is there any new game you're looking forward to playing? Talk to me about that.
So the main game that I'm really looking forward to right now is Valorant. A lot of people are probably laughing right now because they know that if they know me, they know I'm a controller player. So when they hear a controller player playing the keyboard and mouse game, it's like, oh, bro, you're gonna be so bad at it. But like, the Fortnite, like, even though I do main that game as like my main game for competitive, like I do play keyboard and mouse games on my free time when I don't play Fortnite, and I'm not gonna say I have the most amazing aim like Shroud or anything, but I will say I have a above average aim like any not say pro player, but at least semi player that plays keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, got you. So I mean, yeah, Valorant looks awesome. It looks like you're having a lot of fun playing that.
Yeah.
Um, and then so your future in gaming, would you say you're going to lean more towards the competitive side, being competitive in these games, or the content creation side, or another path?
So I kind of made a post about this recently, was pretty much saying how I'm still gonna be competing in any game that I feel like that is worth my time, as if it's gonna be Fortnite or Valorant, but I definitely am gonna put my more time into making the content side just for the fact that I just feel like Fortnite, like my mindset for Fortnite was like, yeah, this is gonna last forever. This is gonna be amazing. I could just do this and I can make content when I want to, or if I ever blow up, then I could main it. But how the Fortnite road is going, and for the fact that I not like other keyboard and mouse players that like played it their whole lives to have amazing aim for Valorant, I think I'm just gonna focus on making content for now. Still gonna compete in any game that I choose from, but I just feel like Fortnite is just not in anymore. And for the fact that I'm a controller player, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to adapt to Valorant, the pro scene at least. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do both, but I would definitely put content over competing first.
Awesome, man. Well, either way, we'll be looking out for it. And then, so moving forward, obviously some crazy times we're living in with this quarantine. What are you looking forward to the most when quarantine is lifted?
To be honest, LANs, I miss going to LANs. They're like so fun. They're just a whole bunch of gamers that are just coming together and like competing together to see who could be the best or against each other. And it's just fun competition.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We can't wait to have you guys back in the building as well.
Yeah, same.
So then next, I got like basically two wrap-up questions here. Number one being, if you could have one duo, anybody in the world, who would it be?
One duo, anyone in the world? I would probably do Innocent or Agers. Right now, they're just popping off in FNCS, and I just feel like they just got it packed down, to be honest.
Gotcha. Love that. And then final question here. What is your best memory at Helix?
My best memory at Helix? Um, Best memory at Helix. I think it'll probably be the first time I ever walked into there. Just knowing that there was an environment for gamers just to have fun in IRL and not just over the internet, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when was that, do you think?
I believe it was 2020. I believe it was 2019 around like November or October. That was the first time I ever heard about Helix. And like the tournaments wasn't big back then. It was just like doing a challenge to see who could get the most points in one of the daily cups, or not the daily cups. The I forgot what they used to be called, but like the normal cups that was just like who could get the most points, like
Yeah, yeah,
practice
yeah,
cups.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the first time I ever came in there, and it was just a fun time. Like even though it wasn't a lot of people, it definitely was just my favorite experience, just for the fact that it was my first time being in a LAN center. That wasn't
Yeah,
because I was like a major pro gamer. It was just a casual person playing against other players.
absolutely. Well, listen, Bugs, thank you so much for taking the time to get on with me today.
Yeah, no problem.
Like I said, once quarantine's lifted, can't wait to have you in the building. Can't wait to have some private lobby tournaments, get everybody back in.
Yeah,
And thanks so much, man. Can't wait to keep watching you, see where your career takes you.
thank you, man.
All right, brother. Thanks so much. Have a great one.
No problem. You too.